Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Fabulous19 and it's time to get fabulous by playing this game. Enjoy. Enjoy the epic amounts of punching and kicking as we deliver justice into the streets. I struggled a little bit with this one, but I managed to just barely pull through. I really like these side-scrolling fighting games. Are pretty fun. I have a great time with them. Constantly trying to find if there's more fighting games out there like this, these beat 'em up type of games that exist. Yeah, I remember as a kid playing lots of Streets of Rage on the Sega Genesis, and I still have it for the Sega Genesis. That console is still working just fine, but the controllers on it are kind of off. But I remember just playing that a ton, just being addicted to all the punching and kicking, and it was just a great game to me. Now, of course, this game is a remake of the old Sega Genesis Streets of Rage games, all three of them. The developers of this, who are just fans, I guess, that really love the game so much that they just use their talents developing games and animations and whatever other skills that they had that they applied into this game. They spent 8 years doing it, and they combined everything from Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, and then they threw in their own stuff in here, including like boss rush mode, mini games, challenges, just extra content. It's really fantastic job, and I really appreciate this. Now, there's very few glitches in this game, not too many that I can really find, except sometimes this area right here, the little police car that I just picked up, sometimes that police car won't be there for some reason, but you need that police car to have that little event happen where the guy shows up with the bazooka and blows away the barrels. If that car isn't there, then you'll just have to restart that stage and try it again. Luckily, it's only the first stage and it doesn't take that long to get there. But I noticed sometimes that would happen, so I was relieved when that police car icon was there when it was supposed to be. Now in this game, what gives it some nice replay value is there are different routes that you can take, which gives you different stages that were once seen in the previous Streets of Rage games, first, second, and the third, of course. And depending on what you choose, that can either lead to different endings and different paths, of course. So for what I'm gonna do for Blaze here, I'll be going on this fourth path, which is pretty much a few made-up areas that the developers made that didn't actually exist in any of the three Streets of Rage games. I'll continue doing this with the other characters as well. I've already done that with the other, with the other 5 characters, I believe. Blaze is the 6th character now that I'm on, and there's still other characters to go. You see this club here called Atlas. That is a little dance club area. That's another stage that you can go to. Once you clear out the enemies here, you can either go up into the club or head to the right. What I'm going to do is just keep going to the right. The next character I play as, I'll be heading into this club, and you get to see the environments and what it looks like in there. Now, as I was playing this, I noticed that Blaze isn't very good with melee weapons. She seems to be very good with knives. She's very slow with a blunt instrument like a pipe, bat, 2x4. She's not very good with it. But with knives, she does a fantastic job. Each character kind of has their own speciality with specific weapons. You can pick up knife with one character and they can't do too much unique attacks with it. You pick up a knife with another character like Blaze here, and she can do all kinds of stuff with it. She has a regular standard stabbing move. She can jump in the air, pretty much perform a dashing snipe attack. Or she can stand in place and by pressing your special attack button, she'll just swing it like she's absolutely crazy, just losing her mind swinging. And anybody that gets caught up in that animation while she's doing that gets a lot of damage taken to them. Ooh, that was messed up. You're gonna kick her in the face and push her? Aw, that's messed. That's messed up. And into the restaurant we go. No, Blaze is not gonna order some takeout food, but she will deliver out some knuckle sandwiches. Punch and kick, kick and punch, punch and kick, kick and punch, punch and kick. Boss! Vulture! Fighting this guy is kinda easy. You just gotta watch out for his throws that he loves to do and some of his kicks. What makes him annoying really is that his little team members, his little henchmen allies keep interfering with you and making this fight more of a headache than it needs to be. It's kinda almost a pushover. But he can still knock you out just as easily, so you still want to keep your guard up. Stage 2, start! As you can see, we have a green lightsaber. Now obviously lightsabers in Streets of Rage games did not exist. This was something the developers just added in here for fun. Like I said, they put extra content in here, including fun stuff like a random lightsaber, which does way too much damage in this game, so it's very good to use if you manage to unlock this in the shop area of the game. Now some of this I ended up cutting out because some of these fights were just dragging out for way too long and that would have been way too boring. You kind of get the idea that we're just, you know, fighting our way through, so I kind of just skipped over some stuff. And don't worry, you didn't miss anything, so don't panic. I'm just saving everyone's time. Enemies here can be very annoying and very smart at the same time. They love to kick and they like to wait until you jump in the air and then they'll kick you out of the air. So sometimes what you have to do is spam a few of your special attacks or wait until one of them jump into the air to kick you, and then you can pretty much perform a special move to avoid getting hurt. Against these guys, some close-in grapple attacks or a special attack might be the only stressless way to deal with them. So move in and grapple them like this, and then smack them around like they owe you some pimp money. Boss Yamato. Now this is one of my favorite boss fights in the game, not only because of the music, but because this guy also has some nice strategy behind his moves. He first of all splits himself into 3 pieces, cloning himself pretty much, and then each individual clone has his own small strategy, his own small little extra attack. But most of them you can take down simply by getting in close, avoiding their attacks, and beating them down. For example, when they go off screen like this guy is, you want to move to, let's see, since he's on the right side of the screen, let's say for example, if he's on the right side, you want to move towards the left. That way you can catch him, because he'll just jump at least midway into the screen, and when he does jump and you can catch him, you can most likely get him inside of a grapple hold. Then you can just beat him from there. Now, of course I had to skip out some of these battles because of course it's gonna take forever showing all 3 of them. I might as well just edit out the battles that you've already seen. They pretty much do this almost the same thing. Almost. There's actually a move you haven't even seen yet that he does, but I beat him down too quickly to show it, unfortunately. Another advantage you may have in this fight is this guy's body language. Some of his movements are a dead giveaway on what he's about to do at least for me, before he even does it. For example, sometimes he'll take a quick step back, place his hand on his sword, then that lets you know that he's getting ready for a sword attack. So at that point you want to wait just like at least half a second and then press your special attack button and you can just hit him before he even touches you. Because the special attack of course has invincibility frames in it, so you'll be safe as long as you're performing your special attack.
You got knocked the fuck out! Medic.
Now this stage I don't really like too much. It's just repetitive, there's too many enemies, it doesn't want to end. There's only 3 little sections to the subway part. The beginning part where there's too many enemies, you have the tractor running through back and forth. This middle part that has I don't know how many enemies you have to beat down, like 50, 60, 80. And then the little third small section where you pretty much beat on all these women with whips and electric prods over electric whips. It gets real obnoxious. And this tractor thing kinda helps. You know when the tractor is coming when the railway starts shaking. If you look at the ground, you notice the railway that are shaking. That's the one you want to avoid. You want to step off of that one and head either down or up depending on which rail tracks are shaking on the ground. That's a sign that this tractor thing is coming. And it's useful because sometimes it runs over it runs over your opponents and they take a ton of damage from it. This one spot seems to get more obnoxious every time I play this game. I don't know why, I just don't like this cramped area. This little area, too many enemies. And the enemy output should have been chopped in half, at least for this spot. It's just not that great of a spot to be fighting in, so of course I have to edit out even more of this fighting that takes place here. It just got really tiresome. It starts to drag out way too much in this small section. Luckily the section after is much better, but in the end of course it all ends up being pretty fun. I guess it's a good little endurance round for you, a good test of how long can you survive. It's probably the concept of this area, in which case they did a good job. That'll do it for this episode, so until next time, everybody, have a fabulous day.
Fabulous.